Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back. My name is Alex and today I want to talk about where Gotham Knights went wrong. Now at the moment I still play the game pretty regularly, every other day I jump on for a couple hours, and the only reason I don't play it more is strictly because I don't have anything left to do on my main character, which is Red Hood. Now with that being said, one of the biggest issues that this game has is something that I noticed a while ago, and that is that this game is trying to wear too many different hats. And what I mean by that is the combat is absolutely the strong point of this game. But where the issue comes in is that the combat system is sitting next to the gear system, which is sitting next to the mod system, which is sitting next to the transmog system. Then you have the crafting system, you have the traversal system, and out of all of these systems, none of them go far enough. I will say that the combat is the most decent out of all, like the features in the game, but even that, I do believe they could have pushed that a little bit further. Now, what actually prompted me to make this video was the recent release of the Witcher next gen upgrade. That is a pretty substantial, upgrade to the old game. And I hadn't really sat down and played The Witcher 3 in years, but immediately after jumping back in, plugging in my Xbox, loading up my character, I had absolutely no idea what was going on with my gear. I completely forgot how the build system works. I completely forgot, all the runes, all of that good stuff. But I do remember at one point mastering all of that gear, understanding every nuance, every, piece of item that I had. And even though I don't remember, anything about it now, I can still learn it. It's a really deep system, and it's something that, that will take you time to actually understand, relearn, and master. Now, I'm not saying that we need a gear system that is on par with The Witcher 3 because, that is a straight up RPG, but Gotham Knights is, quote unquote, also an action RPG, but the RPG elements just aren't really there. Once you are on level with the enemies, once you have, decent gear, there's nothing for you to really tweak, and sure, you can make some pretty cool builds. And this is coming from somebody with, well over 400 hours in the game. I have all my characters geared out. Well, minus my Nightwing, he could, use some more farming, but all my characters are decked out, and the gear system, the build system in general, it is pretty shallow. Once you have, on par level gear, there's no real reason to, try to make anything crazy. Although there is possibility for some pretty dope builds. I won't lie about that front, but I do think that they just didn't push it far enough. For instance, all the factions, they have elements that they are weak to, they have elements that they are resistant to, but once you hit a certain point with your gear, you can pretty much just brute force everything. You don't have to worry about elemental resistance, enemy weaknesses, none of that stuff, because you're just going to be doing so much base damage. Now in itself, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it would be nice to actually, have to use a lot of these systems, especially in the end game. Now I know some of this will absolutely be addressed if we, get a sequel to this game. I think this is a great starting point. I think they absolutely can learn a lot from, the game that they have right now. And even though the combat is hands down the strongest, strong point that this game has right now, one thing that is pretty disappointing is the actual abilities tree. Now, when I first saw this tree, I saw that there were 3 different branches. I thought that, you had to actually make a choice as to which, type of build you wanted to have. But the fact that after a certain amount of time, after you play the game long enough, you unlock enough points, you complete enough challenges, you can completely unlock the entire skill tree, which automatically throws build diversity pretty much out the window. And this goes right back to what I was saying before. They didn't go deep enough with this system. Now imagine that you had these same amount of skill points that we have right now, but all of these skill trees were just a little bit longer to the point where you cannot get every single node. Now I know they probably wanted to keep the RPG mechanics, light, but I think if they were going to do that, they should have just made the game a straight up, just beat 'em up brawler and still give you all the same abilities, all the same moves. And I think that would have went over a lot better with a lot more people. Because at the moment we got a game that has a couple different features and only one of them is really well put together, and that is the combat. Now don't get it twisted, because even though I'm saying these things about the game, this is all constructive criticism. Hopefully they can take this in stride and implement some of these things inside a Gotham Knights 2 or a potential DLC, because I'm still enjoying the game even though I don't play it as much as I used to. And I also know that a lot of the issue that this game has is absolutely down to development time. Now, I know this game seems to have had a pretty eventful development cycle, I guess I could say, because apparently this game was supposed to be a Damian Wayne game or something like that, is what I heard. I don't know how true that is, but if they were, mixing things up on the back end, swapping projects and stuff like that, swapping people around, swapping ideas, game concepts, all that stuff, that would absolutely make sense as to why we don't have a definitive focus point of this game. And of course, most of the time when things like this happen is usually coming from way higher up in the company. It's not the developers, not the team working on the game, nothing like that. It's usually all, coming from, the big dudes up top. So if in some, alternate universe, they are working on DLC for this game, they're working on the sequel or something like that, I would love for them to, take a look at some of these systems, refine them, polish them, make them a lot better, make them meaningful to the game, the gameplay experience, all of that stuff, because this game has a lot of potential. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. That's all I got for you guys today. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that shenanigans down below, and shall catch you guys next time. Peace.